there will be occasions when you're going to be playing running eighth notes or running 16th notes in your violin repertoire. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you how you can fix your uneven fingers and your uneven notes using Schradieck exercises. Let's get started with the Schradieck. I love the Schradieck exercises because what they do is they allow the left hand to really form this dexterity. So for one, when you're practicing with the Schradieck, especially the first exercise, which is like the most classic Schradieck exercise that I teach all my students, actually the very first exercise that they ever touch when they touch the Schradieck. And the first exercise goes like this. Very simple, right? But some of you may have uneven fingers and uneven sounding notes, like, so you're really not sure how to fix that. So I'm going to outline a few different techniques on how I approach this with my students. Number one, you want to have some kind of variety with your Schradieck exercises or in your passages. Number one is just making sure that you just do it without the bow. See if you can confidently place all the fingers at the same time. See if you can really try to get those even. And then once you've tried to establish that with the left hand, then try it with the bow. But let's say that doesn't work. My other suggestion is to try it on other strings to see if you have the same problem. And the wonderful thing about the first Schradieck exercise in the book, especially for violin playing, is that you are able to do these exercises on each different string, because most of these exercises are all on one string to begin with. Once you get into like Roman numeral 3, Roman numeral 5, all of those different types of exercises have different string crossings. So that's not ideal to try doing it on different strings. But in the first exercise, you can totally do that. So you can do it on D string. And you can do it on G string and E string, so on. Now, let's say your fingers are still uneven, you've practiced it on all 4 different strings. Now what do you do? Well, in a lot of these exercises, you have running 16th notes. Now, I want to challenge you to try doing these exercises in different rhythms and different bowing variations. Number one, you can try... That's one variation that you can do. Or you can add on top of that variation by doing it separate bow. So or you can do something different. And you can do that separately. You may have noticed that I did these exercises on different parts of the bow, especially this one. So you have that kind of shoe shine stroke already kind of embedded into the exercise. And if you do it at the tip, you're already practicing that shoe shine exercise for different variations. So you can definitely apply those exercises into other pieces as well. So that's one thing that you can really emphasize in those Schradieck exercises is the different rhythms. Now, you can do different bowings, as I just mentioned before. So if you want to keep the same 16th notes even, you can do a variation, maybe 3 down, 1 up. And then you can do the opposite. Or you can do it separately with 2 notes. In addition, you could even try to apply the different rhythms from the left hand into the variation of the right hand. So particularly in the slur. I know that we just did that with the separate bows, but I guess this is what I wanted to say was you can also apply this with the slur. So definitely something to look out for when you're focusing on even fingers. Your objective is to keep every single note as even as possible in the original format. These extra exercises are only to help you trying to get those even fingers down in your technique. And then most importantly, when you're applying the fingers on the string, you know, Leopold Auer always talks about having the fingers perpendicular to the string. So you don't want to have the fingers completely to the side. I haven't really talked about that much, about the angle of the finger placement. So you want to try them as perpendicular to the string as possible. Now the fourth finger, of course, it's you know, very difficult to do that because of just the way that our fourth finger is placed on the violin. But nonetheless, that is what you should be aiming for when you're practicing these different variations. And that's what makes violin so difficult, because you're thinking about all sorts of different things at the same time. But it's not impossible if with the correct mental focus towards your right hand and towards your left hand, you can achieve a great tone, and you can definitely achieve those even fingers that you've been struggling with. There are occasions, though, you can apply the same thing on the right hand with the rhythm if you are really struggling with the string crossings. A perfect example of this is one of the earlier Schradieck exercises when you're practicing the string crossing. All sorts of different exercises right there. You can really they can really help you and benefit your violin playing. It's imperative that if you're working on the left hand evenness, you're also focusing on the tone. And if you don't focus on that tone, you're not going to reap the rewards of these exercises. But if you want more tutorials or exercises regarding rhythm, Schradieck, other sorts of different exercises in this realm of Schradieck, please take a look at some of these videos I have over here and right over here.